78 Sports TV here. Salute to the mighty LDBC. Much love to the chat. Make sure y'all smash that like button, hit the subscribe, also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop a new video. And if you're digging the video, go ahead and share the video. So y'all know I'm very invested in this Michael Irvin saga and what's going on with him. Since my last Michael Irvin video, a few things have happened. All right, I got a lot of comments, a lot of people who are, I guess, anti-Michael Irvin. I'm going to respond to some of those comments. But in particularly, we had one of the key witnesses to the Michael Irvin saga was there. And he has been doing interviews. He did a couple of interviews with other YouTubers that I noticed. And very good interviews, very detailed. He only talked about what he can speak on educatedly. He didn't, embellish stories or exaggerate or add extra information. He didn't sound like he was purposely trying to help Michael Irvin, or purposely trying to discredit Michael Irvin. He sounded like he was giving you the information that he knows, right? And from what this man is saying, it explains a lot of things that I'm going to explain later in this video. So one of the comments, I'll get to that, trust me. But one of the guys in the comments, a few of them actually, but one guy in particular said in one of my Michael Irvin videos, look, the videotape speaks for itself. Michael Irvin's guilty. So how do you figure he's guilty? The tape basically validates everything he's been saying. They say, no, Michael Irvin, it shows he touched her on her arm several times. I said, what? You think a man should be fired and lose his job and his credibility shot because he touched a woman on the arm, in the midst of a conversation? Is that the world that we're actually trying to live in going forward here? Is this the world that we actually want our sons and daughters to live in? Is that what you're really saying? Is this something personal? What are you talking about? The guy responded to me by saying, oh, Michael Irvin, he said the Hotel Marriott said that Michael Irvin slapped his face 3 times. He said, I got to have me some of that. I got to get me some of that, right? And you can clearly see in the tape, he's slapping his face, right? So we're going to deal with that, okay? Because there's no audio to the video, so you can only go by what the story was told. And speaking of that, I want to play something for you guys before we get to the actual Michael Irvin video. This video might take me some time, so just bear with me. Before we get to the Michael Irvin video, I want you to watch a video here, okay? This video is of a woman back in the day, in the 90s, was pulled over by a police officer, okay? Police officer had seen her in the gas station before. He saw her pumping her gas. Police officer was attracted to her, so he wanted to do something kind of, I guess, he perceived it to be romantic. He's going to pull her over on a dark road and try to shoot his shot at her, right? The police officer, right? And somewhere along the line, this cop decides he's going to ask this woman some inappropriate questions about, how many men she's been with. And he told her if she lies about how many men she's been with, he's going to arrest her, and take her to jail. She didn't think he was serious. But he did, right? Because he wants to have sex with her. The police officer say, look, tell me how many men you've been with. He shot his shot at her. She wasn't interested. And so he basically arrested her because she didn't want to have sex with him. Here's the tape. Okay. There was no audio to that. But I told you what happened. You see the police officer, you clearly see the woman in the video counting on her hand how many men she had been with in her life. And you see him not being happy with her answers and him putting the handcuffs on her and getting ready to arrest her. Hold on while I blaze real quick. So we all clearly saw that. And that's just despicable behavior by the officer. But now let's listen to the tape with audio.
4, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's fine. Kimberly?
I've never had a speeding ticket in my life.
You're under arrest for driving while intoxicated. You need to face the car and put your hands behind your back.
What's your name?
Don Williams, Officer Don Williams.
I've never had a speeding. I have had 4 speeding tickets in my life.
I realize that, Kimberly, but tonight, I believe you're too intoxicated to be driving.
I really am.
Turn around, I got 50 steps, okay?
Is there any way that we can show this to the test?
Through what?
There you have it. Woman asked the man, is there any way we can settle my drunk driving case with sex? Now, the reason why I sent y'all through the ringer right there is because I want to show some people that a videotape with no audio can be interpreted however I want to dictate. Listen, the Marriott had this tape. They had this surveillance footage of Michael Irvin. They didn't tell Michael Irvin what was on the tape. They asked Michael Irvin, what happened to the lady you spoke to? He said, I don't even remember what you're talking about. I don't remember what we talked about. Who, what woman? Now he's on the record saying he doesn't even remember the conversation. That could be held against him. This is why they tell you to be quiet. He doesn't even know what he's being accused of. But they got this tape all this time. They didn't want to release it to the public. They didn't want to release it to Michael Irvin's lawyers. It took a judge's order to get the Marriott to release the tape. You know why? They had all this time to come up with a story as to what each thing in the video means. You see? So now people watch the Marriott video surveillance footage and the detractors of Michael Irvin. Oh, you can see they're telling the truth. Well, I just showed you in from that first example I gave you, you can interpret something however you want. Now watch this. I'm going to play the tape of the Marriott situation. I want you to look at this tape and watch the woman avoid going. It's a huge opening for this woman to go through to the bar area where she's going to. But instead, she walks in the direction. She avoids this huge entrance to walk around to the camera can see her, where she knows Michael Irvin's going to be. And then she cuts in to a part behind this wall where there is no camera, so we can't tell who initiated the contact, who initiated the conversation. We can't tell. We don't know if she walked behind that wall where she knew it was no camera and said, hey, how you doing, Michael Irvin? We don't know if she did that. We don't know if she asked him a question. We don't know anything. Right? All we can do is judge it by the video footage because there's no audio. So let's take a look, see?
He sees her back there where he's vectored, and he comes up, the manager, and you'll see him when he sees her. Watch his expression, what he does. See the claps? I don't know what that is. Then he comes up here, and you can see he's visibly frustrated at what's going on somehow with her. Now let's take your focus back to Michael and her, because you can see they have friendly interaction. The body language is good, and they're just talking. In fact, if you see, he keeps more space from him than he does when he's talking to any male at any point in the bar. Some of y'all probably wish he'd keep more space when he talked to you. Guy's pacing, hitting his hands. He's upset over there on the left with whatever's happening. The guy in the gray up top, that's the security guard that's wandering around. He'll circle around many times around Michael and her. Pause it 1 second. So we've been going for a while. They're having a lot of conversation. As Marriott released in their statement, they said basically, he said one word to her, an offensive, vulgar thing that he did not say, and it's clear from the video and from these witnesses. But they have a very lengthy conversation, and no one's trying to tell us what that is. Go ahead. That's where she tells some kind of joke, I believe, to him. You see him kind of bend over. She's shaking her head back and forth like that. He walked in closer to her. She didn't back up at all. Now they're shaking hands. Now I want you to watch the end interaction here, because she's going to kind of, when the people come up, she'll kick her leg. As she walks off, she's still talking to Michael over the shoulder, all friendly. There you go. Kicks her leg. And see right here, she's going to look back over her shoulder and say something to Michael. Now pause it. Pause it. Okay. They claim he was leering at her. When he looks back in the bar, she's way gone. Because you're about to watch, she's going to go over here, and that guy.
All right. So, just from the video footage, I don't know. On my end, it was kind of choppy. Hopefully, it played clear for you guys. My StreamYard's acting up a little bit. But from the video footage, you can see this tape can be interpreted however you want to. With no audio, she cannot listen. And then a key thing that the lawyer said while he was narrating, the lawyer said that the Marriott has not revealed to them what conversation that allegedly happened between Michael Irvin and this woman. They clearly was having a conversation. The Marriott has not revealed what the conversation was. You know why? They need time to get their story together. By the time they get to court, this is going to be ridiculous. If it makes it to court, this is going to be ridiculous storyline. Anybody in the chat who's watching this video right now, this could be you. If you're on tape in a gas station, I was telling one of my friends about this earlier. You could be on tape in a gas station talking to a woman, right? She could literally ask you directions. Say, hey, do you know how to get to Maple Street? Right? You can tap her on her arm, walk and tell her to follow you out the store, and you on camera pointing down the street. There's no audio. So this woman can go to the cops and say, a man tried to lure me into a vehicle. Yeah, he told me that he had something for me. All I had to do was stick my head in the back of that truck over there. And then they look at the tape and say, oh, look, you can see him. He tapped her on her shoulder, and he points outside. Clearly, he was trying to get her to go somewhere. Like, it's ridiculous. You can't prove that. There are wicked people out here who make stories up for their own personal gain. And we have to stop acting like we're living in a world where everybody's righteous. There are so many stories of men being lied upon. Of course, there are real creeps out here. But there are so many stories of men being vindicated from these lies and stories. And what's happening to the women that make up these stories? I wouldn't be surprised if this woman was pressured to actually say these things. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe the manager and her has some type of relationship. All that stuff needs to be investigated. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the fact that we don't know who she is or who the manager is, because these people have time now to scrub clean their social media. We don't know if they ever said something bad about Michael Irvin or if she had a crush on Michael Irvin. We don't know any of this stuff. They have all the time in the world to scrub clean their social media. But I'm sure Michael Irvin's team is on that, hopefully. Now, back to what I said earlier about the witness who has been doing interviews. The witness says that Michael Irvin kept talking about how tired he was. He said that when he had interactions with Michael Irvin and they went outside to take a picture, he said they offered to buy Michael Irvin a drink. Mike said he didn't want a drink because he had to get up early in the morning, right? Which is kind of contradictory to the statement by the Marriott that Michael Irvin was some slurring drunk who's all messed up. Michael Irvin had enough common sense to say, yeah, better not drink nothing right now because I got to get up early in the morning. He didn't even want to take a picture with them at the hotel bar because he's worried about his image. So a man that's worried about his image, who don't want to take a picture at the bar, tells him that let's go outside and take the picture. I don't see the same man coming back into the establishment and harassing a woman with all this stuff he has in his history, the lies, the countless lies that they put on him in the past. The witness also said, so Michael Irvin is saying how tired he is, right? And he kept referring to how tired. He said that a few times. So maybe that would explain him slapping himself on the camera. How do we know he wasn't saying, "Wake up, Mike. Wake up, Mike. Come on, you got a few more minutes. Wake up, Mike." How do we know he wasn't saying that? If you see him slapping himself on his face on the camera with no audio, you can say he said anything. That's ridiculous. So when people come to my page like, "Oh, you clearly see him slapping himself in the camera, so I believe her," what an idiot! I mean, this is ridiculous. But anyway, I'm gonna stay on this story. As new information comes available, I'll be making videos about it. So y'all stay tuned. 78 Sports TV. Salute to the mighty ldbc. Smash that like button. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. I'm up out of here. Deuces.